we gonna do the food truck now that you are opening a restaurant? And the answer is I don't know. Good morning again. It's now Tuesday, December 16th. We've gotten a lot done, so this is just going to be update. I guess we'll call it number 3. I don't really know. The hood is installed. They're going to come back and skirt it all in. And I'm going to get a side panel for this area here. That way, so I don't know if you know anything about hoods or not, but sorry, I'm out of breath. I just moved all of that sheetrock in here. You can't have, that was a nice car I just drove by. You can't have your equipment all the way to the end without a side panel. You have to be 6 inches in. I'm going to put one side panel on this end so I can shove everything, and it's better, so I can shove everything down to there, and then it'll save me as much room as possible between there and the wall. The equipment I have will fit, it's fine. But I'm going to go ahead and do a side panel. I'll probably put my double stack oven back in there. That'll be probably a cold prep table and maybe just a stainless prep table. And then right here, so essentially, I don't know if I can, you know, we're under the hood right now. Let's pretend I'm standing right about here. See, I'm under the hood. I'm under the hood. Let's just pretend I'm here, you know, doing my food making thing. I will then turn around and I'll have another row of tables right here and of whatever I need. Maybe put my cold prep table here because I'll probably have like my refrigerator or something against that wall so I can keep my french fry, my freezer, so I keep my french fries and stuff over there. Another row of stuff here. So I've got a whole workstation. I can cook here, I can spin around, have tables here, and then this will be my window that will go out to, I don't know, there's got to be a word for it, but I don't know what it is, the employee section. And then another, well, let's just say 10 feet up will be the countertop where the customers will come to the countertop. This will be double swinging doors right here. That's what will separate the kitchen from, you know, me and them or whatever. So they'll be able to see back down my food line, which will be kind of neat, I guess, as long as I'm not doing anything weird. These are my bathrooms. Let's bring you around here. So this is my ADA bathroom. That's all my vent pipe up there. I think I'm just gonna, that's gonna be exposed. So I think I'm just gonna paint that probably black. So just envision this with me, okay? We're in the dining area right now. There's a lot of tables here. People are eating, having a good time. There's some subtle music on in the background, and I'm back there doing my best that I can to make quality food. Let's just pretend you're out here and, oh man, I gotta go pee. You'll come down the hallway. So here is my bar that goes across that. This is where the customers deal with. Right here will be a soda fountain machine, so you get your own drinks. Anyways, we're heading down the hallway. There will be a single door here that will, 32-inch door just for a toilet. It'd be his and hers, just toilet. His and hers, be another one right here. Then here, this will not be a door. This will just be an open area, and there will be a sink right there, just kind of in the hallway per se. You do your thing, whatever you gotta do in the bathroom, you'll walk right out here to the sink, and that's your hand wash area. And then this is a 36-inch door, ADA compliant. So it'll be a swing indoor. I don't know what your county inspector says. I have visited with mine about the options and ideas of my door swing, and that's what's going to work. There will be a wall mounted sink there. Again, that's just vent pipe, and then the toilet will be way over here. There has to be a 60-inch 5-foot uninterrupted circle in the middle of my floor with nothing in the way, so essentially a wheelchair can do a full 360 in here. If they want to come in here and do some wheelchair dancing, they got it, man. They can do it. There's enough room. I just put a word into the inspector to get him out here to inspect all my plumbing. That way I can start hanging sheetrock. I don't know if you can see it there, but I just brought in all this sheetrock. That's not enough, but I just picked up some to get me started. I'm only sheetrocking the insides of all that stuff. Actually, the outside of it, I'm just gonna wrap in 1/2-inch plywood. I've got a lot. This is just plywood. There's brand new flooring under this plywood. That's why this plywood's here. Yeah, it's dirty from walking on it, but it's going to get hung up on the wall on the outside. And then everything in this kitchen is getting wrapped in FRP, fiberglass reinforced plastic, I think is what that's called. I don't know. FRP. It's the white 4x8 sheets. I always call it shower wall. 4x8 sheets of shower wall. It's kind of a textured white plastic. This entire kitchen is going to get wrapped in it, except for this area here. This will all be stainless. Likely 4 feet past that. I gotta think of how many sheets of stainless I have. 4 feet past the end of the hood, and then that'll all be stainless, and hopefully I got enough to do a few feet past this hood as well. That thing's 10 feet long, so it's going to take three and a half sheets to do it. So I can for sure be a couple feet past it, but I want as much stainless on that wall as I can. It'll, one, just look really freaking cool. Two, that is a code violation to not have it. I have to have stainless under the hood at least. At least that 10-foot span has to be stainless. But I've got, I can't remember, I think 4 sheets, maybe more. But I'm just going to stainless as much as that as I can. And then all my equipment is going to go along there. I will likely put my double stack oven back in over here. It was originally tied into this ductwork. It's kind of wonky right now, but it'll straighten out. I'll probably just put it right back where it was at, because that way I'd like to maybe do like a table out here. But anyways, that's where we're at on renovations and remodel. That was a deal. That was something else. I put, not that big, but I put my own, I installed my own in both of my food trucks. I have since learned that I have no business installing hoods. After watching them do this correctly and up to code, the amount of things that I didn't do that the way I probably should have done. Yeah. Hood installation, professional hood installation is probably not in my future, is what I'm getting at. Also, anybody watching this, I haven't decided yet. People keep asking me, like, what are you going to do with your food truck if you're running a restaurant? You know, initially when I bought all of this, I'm going to set this camera down. I'm tired of holding it. If I can find somewhere to set it. Everybody keeps asking, sorry, what are you going to do with your food truck now that you are opening a restaurant? And the answer is I don't know. Initially, I thought I would buy this place, put a counter in, keep it real simple, basically use this as my commissary to run my food truck. I can use this for my kitchen prep, all my prep work, and then I can take my food truck to wherever I want to go. If I don't want to take my food truck, I'll open my front door and basically run it as a brick and mortar food truck. Exact same process, exact same food, exact same quality, but you're going to walk in my front door and pick it up instead of me dragging my food truck somewhere. Like most of my project, that has completely spiraled out of control, and I'm just doing essentially a complete renovation of this place. It's going to look so much different when I'm done, and I'm very excited about it. But the problem is I'm so heavily invested into this that I almost can't afford not to just open it full time at this point. By the time I get done with it, the amount of effort and money that I have exhausted into this place, it almost needs to be a 5 or 6 day a week open to the public restaurant to accommodate it. So that means I got to hire employees, and just, you know, all my insurance expenses are going to go up, and everything is just going to be astronomical. So I don't know. We're going to dabble in the idea of maybe just running a few days a week here when I first open. Just kind of play with it, see if I like the flow of things, see if I need to rearrange the kitchen any before I really like just say, hey, here's our set hours. So we'll probably do some pop-up stuff, kind of get some feedback, you know, and I know at first it's going to be really exciting for the public to have this brand new barbecue joint. I know what it's like to have a good restaurant that's brand new. For example, the one right across the street from me, they opened it, I think, like 4 years ago. When they first opened, I was so excited about them. I ate there, I think, every day for like, I don't even know how long, because I, at the time, was running a business just a couple blocks down the street. So I was constantly walking over there and eating, constantly. I finally got burnt out on it. And then I didn't go back for a very long time. And it wasn't anything personal. I was just sick of going there so much. And I'm sure that kind of stuff will happen. It'll be exciting for a lot of people at first. So I'll be really, really busy. But you can't base your business off of that, like your first year, basically. You need to run it for a couple years and then do an average and find out if it's actually going to be feasible or not to keep the doors open. So you either go bankrupt and lose everything you have, or you'll make a success of it, or in the end, if you're lucky, you'll just break even and be able to walk away from it all and be like, you know what, I learned a lot off of that, and I probably won't do it again. But I'm kind of an idiot, so I will probably do it again. It's the next day. That's another passing inspection slip for me. That's two now. There's one, there's two. Periodically during construction, especially in a commercial building, wherever you live, I would assume it's roughly the same. You have to get like certified inspections done. I had to get a plumbing inspection, I have to get a rough-in inspection, I'll have to get an electrical inspection, I have to get an inspection on my hood installed, that is a different animal of inspections. That's why I hired that whole thing out. I'll have to get a suppression inspection, I'll have to get, when it's all done, they'll have to come in, like do a bunch of stuff and figure out my occupancy, and they'll have to do an inspection on that to find out if I have enough space to, I'll have enough space, but they said if I want to do alcohol, it changes the occupancy and blah, 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 blah stuff. So yeah, we can start hanging drywall and sheetrock now. Actually, we cannot. I need to rough in electrical first. That would be silly to hang drywall and then try to go back and do electrical. So I might hang a little bit of sheetrock, but I'm not doing any plugins anywhere. I am doing light switches though, so I need to get all that stuff bought and hung. That's one panel, but we're gonna wrap this whole kitchen. Well, that's gonna get wrapped in stainless, but all of it's gonna get wrapped with that FRP. Fiberglass reinforced polyurethane, I think is the answer. I think I called it fiberglass reinforced plastic earlier. I don't know. That's what we're doing. Hey guys, Friday, December 19th. I don't know where I left off, but the hood is in, the bathrooms are built, the suppression system is essentially in. There's a couple small things that still need to be done to button that up. The wiring is done, I have lights, and then this will turn on my exhaust fan, but I don't have the motor in my exhaust fan. It's currently laying on that table back there. My hood exhaust fan, not this exhaust fan, but I have exhaust fans, all three of my bathrooms, electricals ran, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna take all this old lighting out here, and I ordered a whole bunch. I ordered like 48 flush mount can lights. We're gonna light this place up with can lights and also a little bit of this area as well. That already has can lights in it out there. That's where we're at. So I'm gonna wrap this video up. Update, I don't even know, number 27 or something. But thanks for watching, and hopefully soon I'll be showing you videos of selling barbecue to customers. So that'd be pretty nice.